So, good morning or good night, depending on where you are in the world, and welcome to another album review of The Chill Dude on a Couch. I'm your host, Hector, and today we're going to talk about an album that came out last Friday, and it's a black metal album by an artist that it's getting a lot of buzz and praise, and his name is the name of the band is Blackbraid, and this is album number three. So his third album, he's kept it like very simple, one, two, and now this one. And this is a one-man black metal project, and it's an indigenous black metal, and it has some folk elements into the music as well. The name of the artist is John Krieger, but he also goes for a pseudonym. Sorry if I butchered that, and it's Esgana Gatsowa. So I'm sorry if I butchered that. But yeah, this is an album that has 10 tracks, 53 minutes in length. And out of those 10 tracks, six are like full songs, and the other four are more like interludes. But these interludes have a purpose in this album. So this album explores different themes. And I cannot talk about this album without talking about the great artwork that this album has, because that is part of what makes this album great, the artwork that comes along with it. So this is the artwork for the album, which you have the stag, the deer, you have the nature, and you really feel when you're listening to this album like you are out in the North American indigenous like landscape. So the album explores different themes. It explores themes of nature, mysticism, and also the connection that we have between death and rebirth. So the album starts with a dog's eulogy, like it's an intro to the album, sorry, and it has like a very soft acoustic guitars, and it really blends well with the music. Then you have the first two songs on the album are actually the singles that were dropped. That's War Drums at Dawn, and The Day of My Death. And this one, it's really immediate. You feel those like blast beats, like great guitar. It almost reminds you of Immortal in their heyday. But the vocals are really good, and I think it's with black metal. Sometimes like vocals, I can't understand them, but with this artist, you can understand what he's singing, and that to me helps the experience. That then you have the dying breath of a sacred stag, which is a 7+ minute opus, and that one has some great guitar parts to it, like a great like sound like which I love, and also the black metal vocals on this one are great. So the album starts awesome. Then after that, you have another instrumental, and you hear like coyotes and some animals in the background. And I like it because it really paints a vivid picture of like where you are. You like almost transported into the outdoors. And I think these instrumentals are necessary because usually the songs for this album are very long. So the instrumentals kind of like pace you and like really pace this album in a great way. So they're placed very strategically and smart. After some interludes, you have a song that I think is one of the highlights, The God of the Black Blood. This one starts with an evil shrieking, then you get the pounding drums, and it builds some great atmosphere. And there's a part in the song where it slows down a little bit and then it gets back up again. It's one of the best tracks on the record. Then you have, a few other instrumentals with some great acoustic guitars and folky elements. And again, you hear like the nature in some of these instrumentals. You have the two longest songs almost at the end with Tears of Dawn and He Became the Burning Star, I think, or Stone. I don't know what I wrote. Sorry if I butchered that. But those are like 9-minute epic tracks, and even though they're long, they don't feel that long. This album has a great pacing to them, and there's no minute wasted in the musicality. Some great guitar work and the production. Sometimes with black metal, that's one of like my things with black metal. Sometimes I think the production is not that great, but on this album, this is great. And this is a one-man band, and also this is an independent release. So great production on this one. And I listened to their previous album, and they keep improving on that as well. And the album ends with Fleshbound, which is like a 5-minute track, and it's straight up like fast black metal. Uh, Great guitar work again, and really brings the album to an awesome close of the record. So yes, this is a record that I believe it's one of the best black metal records of the year, and I like that he also includes those folk elements on the long songs. The folk elements are used here and there, and I like the vocals. You can understand them, and the concept of the record, I think it's done pretty well. The instrumentals don't feel like they're taking up space just to take up space. They feel like they're preparing you for the other songs, and basically they transport you to the wilderness, like I said before on this album review. So, in conclusion, to me, Black Braid album number 3, it's a great record, one of the best black metal albums of the year, and proof that you can be a one-man band and still have great production. I'm looking at you, Drug Bale. Yeah, you, your album doesn't sound like this one. So I'm very picky with my black metal. It's not like a genre that I fully love, but this is a record that I took some time to talk about it because I wanted to listen to it for 4 days, see if I heard something different, because this is an album that every time you listen to different elements, great head you with headphones, it sounds great, and you can like I like it when you can hear like the animals in the background. I don't know. I used to play a lot of Red Dead Redemption, and I felt like that, I was in the Red Dead Redemption, and I was listening to nature all around me. So I think that Black Braid is a very promising black metal act, and they keep improving, and I like how they're doing this music. I remember for the second album, I think I wrote to interview, but he wasn't doing interviews at the time. But it would be very interesting to talk to John Krieger and talk more about the themes that are explored on this record. So I want to know from you, Couchers, what do you think of this album? Comment down below. If you like the videos that I put out, do not forget to give me a like, and do not forget to subscribe. That helps me with the YouTube algorithm to get to more people like yourself. So until next time, Couchers, this is Hector, the Shielder on the couch, and I'll see you all right here on the couch. Thank you and goodbye.